guys are doing today. So I've got Adam Gagen, who is a British guy who lives in Hong Kong, and he works for Plenary and looks after brands like Absolute, Jameson's, and Jacobs Creek. And Adam is passionate about policymakers acting responsibly for the long term. He believes change must come by the generations that have most to lose. In business, in academia, in civil society, and with public institutions, new modes of operations must be found. Ones which prioritize long-term sustainability, finding ways to convince companies, industries, and indeed government agencies to commit to such long-term objectives rather than focusing on short-term political wins is a real challenge. And his fellow delegate and colleague at Pernod Ricard, Nicola McCarthy, is a New Zealander who lives in London. And Nicola is passionate about ensuring global business empowers young people to support the future of the business and acts responsibly by going beyond the standards that are enshrined in law to have higher standards of ethics. So guys, up to you.
Thank you, Paul, for the kind introduction. I know it's early, so we wanted to check that you're all awake. Let's have a quick show of hands. Who's ever had a bad experience with alcohol?
Okay, and now who's ever had a good experience with alcohol? Not too bad.
Alcohol is clearly a sensitive issue, particularly for young people. We see two main issues impacting young people: the increase of binge drinking and the younger age that people first drink alcohol. We believe there are two key ways that young people can make a difference on these issues and in business. First, by empowering young people to lead within the business. Young people have the most to lose by working in an unsustainable business. I and my young colleagues know if we wish to sustain our business and ensure the longevity of our brands over the long term, we must reduce and prevent the harmful use of alcohol now. This may seem counterintuitive to some. In the old business model, sales and profits were king, and many may question an alcohol company's true commitment to reducing underage drinking. But I see this commitment every day. I work closely with our global marketing teams to ensure our campaigns comply with our own code of ethics for advertising and to keep it updated, especially as it affects young people. How we advertise our brands is constantly changing. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram all play a large part in how we interact with consumers. But in some countries, advertising regulations have never been extended to cover digital marketing, or at least not comprehensively. These technology changes are outpacing the law. But the law can never provide for every sector, every at-risk population, or every digital innovation that comes our way. That is why as social media evolves, the way we safeguard the interests of young people must also evolve. We audit all our platforms for the average age of users, restrict access to brand pages where possible to those above the legal drinking age, and ensure our content is not likely to encourage underage or harmful consumption. Companies must act not just in compliance with the law, but beyond it, to a higher statement of ethics.
So as Nicola has explained, our company is trying to be responsible in our actions, as I think are most who attend One Young World. This is good, this is not enough. So the second key message is that as the younger generation, we have to challenge companies to look beyond themselves and to actually lead positive change within their industries. As an alcohol company, we are quite rightly judged, not just by our impact, but by the impact of our entire sector. I'm proud to say, in our industry, many companies recognize their responsibility. Last year, the CEOs of the 13 largest beer, wines, and spirits companies put corporate interest aside and came together. They made a joint commitment to reduce the harmful use of alcohol. Together, we're doing concrete actions. We're educating consumers. We're buying and providing breathalyzers to traffic police so they can really enforce the law. And we're making sure that we pressure our partners, our retailers, to check IDs, to make sure that underage people cannot have access to alcohol. We do this because we genuinely believe to be sustainable, we need to reduce the impact of our industry. We genuinely believe that we have to help the World Health Organization deliver its target to reduce harmful use of alcohol by 10% by 2025. And we genuinely believe the best way, the most effective way of doing this is together. So, the commitments, they're a good step forward. But as the younger generation, we know we need to strive for more. In Asia, where I work, the signatories of the commitments, mainly multinational companies, we represent just 5% of the total alcohol consumed. I and my colleagues in Asia, we knew to be really effective, we had to reach out to local industry. We had to go beyond our company, beyond the enlightened companies that had joined, and actually take them with us. This was our priority, and we managed to have quite a lot of success. We now have joint industry programs addressing these issues in Vietnam, in India, in Korea, in Thailand, in Taiwan, and many more under discussion. But I have to say it's hard. I see every day how challenging it is to convince your competitors to put aside their rivalries and to unite to do the right thing. Companies, we need your help. So, how can the younger generation contribute? What can you do? First, as voters, you need to pressure your governments to regulate businesses effectively. Demand they enforce the law. Demand that they make sure we deliver on the promises that we make. But you have the greatest power as employees and as consumers. Choose who you work for, choose who you buy from. When you go back home, challenge your companies, challenge your peers. How effectively are we rewarding those companies who are trying to do the right thing? And how effectively are we punishing those who don't? Our generation can connect with each other globally to really know what business is doing. If we pressure politicians and we pressure profits, we will deliver real change. We have the tools to make our voice heard in the media, at the ballot box, and at the cash register. We urge you, please use them. Thank you.